Hey guys, and welcome back to Series 2, Episode 17 of the house renovation.
I got it right that time.
No way.
I normally mess that up every single time.
You haven't got it right since like 3, have you?
Thank you for coming back and watching another one of our house renovation videos. And today's video was supposed to be me installing the kitchen. It was going to happen. We were like literally this close. I think we were even closer than that. Maybe this close.
We have said this for the last 3 videos.
I think it's about 10 videos we keep talking about installing the kitchen. But we were, or I was, going to install the kitchen today in today's video. But because of Hollie's indecisiveness, I think that's what we can call it.
I changed my mind on the microwave I wanted, and that just meant James has a lot more work to do.
Alright, so in the last video you guys would have watched me build out or board out this part of the chimney over here. It's basically just a little bit of wood and some MDF which I've kind of filled in the whole of the old chimney, and that basically gives me a nice solid kind of fixing for when we actually fit our kitchen cabinets along this wall. Now, I know a few people commented on that video trying to work out the reasons why we done that and reasons why we haven't kind of utilize that little bit of space back in the chimney. Now I know I've gone over this many times before, but this is the basic layout of the kitchen. We've got the oven, the microwave, and then we've got other cupboards, and the sink and a dishwasher is going around here. Before we actually moved into this house, we used to live in a small little 1-bed flat with a tiny little kitchen which had no worktop space and basically no storage. So the main reason why we've gone for this sort of layout is to try to utilize the space to get the most amount of storage and the most amount of worktop space on top. And then we're going to have top cupboards which go along this wall, and again stepping back into that alcove over there. So we have a full row of top cupboards and a full row of bottom cupboards as well. And don't get me wrong, this isn't the first design of the kitchen. We have done probably about 1 million different designs over the last year trying to work out the best way we're going to be using this kitchen, how the kitchen's going to flow, where we're going to put stuff. And way before we even got the extension done, we kind of worked out the look and design of this kitchen because we wanted to make sure that it all flowed through into the new extension. We thought about many different things, and one of the things we thought about was to try to utilize the space from the actual chimney. So we did have the idea of basically knocking this hole out here a lot bigger and put a lintel in up here to hold all the brick up, and then set back our cooker and oven and stuff. Other people recommended that we should put a range style cooker in there. But the thing is, by doing that, we'd actually lose a lot of space, a lot of storage, a lot of worktop space, because this pillar here and here would have to stay, because we wouldn't be able to take this whole chimney out because it goes all the way up through the house and out through the top of the roof. We would have to put a lintel in up here to hold all the bricks in, which one would cost a lot of money. I'd have to get some builders in. I wouldn't be able to do it myself. And 2, by doing that and keeping these pillars and setting back the oven and the cooker or the hob into this hole, you lose a lot of this worktop space by keeping these pillars. And also, if you've got this up here and you're going to be standing into the hole of this chimney, you wouldn't be able to then have top cupboards coming out because your cooker would be too far back. So that basically means that you wouldn't be able to have any top cupboards, basically be spending a lot of money, and also then you'd lose a lot of the storage space and also a lot of the worktop space. And we're trying to do this the cheap way, hence me doing pretty much everything ourselves. And that is another reason why we went for an IKEA kitchen, because it's cheaper than other kitchens. And also an IKEA kitchen means that I can pretty much fit it all myself as well. So yes, we do really appreciate your comments and you trying to work out what we're doing. So that's why I thought I would start off this video by explaining the reasons why we've decided to do the kitchen style we've actually decided to do. Me and Hollie have hit a bit of an issue with the microwave, and that is that months and months ago, before this room was even touched, before it was even plastered, before the electrics even went in, I just assumed that the microwave would just need a normal microwave feed with an isolator, and that is what the electrician has done. Now we've actually come to the point of ordering the microwave. I've just realized that the microwave what Hollie wants, which is a microwave oven, needs its own 6mm cable, which is the same cable which goes for an oven and goes for the induction hob. And we've only put 2 cables in, and that means I need a 3rd for the microwave. So I now need to get a 6mm cable into this wall, which has already been plastered, back to the fuse box, which is the other side of the ceiling, which has already been plastered. We don't make it easy for ourselves. So luckily, none of these electrics here are actually live. The cables do go back to the fuse box or near the fuse box, but they're not actually wired into the fuse box. So there is no way or no chance of me actually electrocuting myself, which is a good thing. And like I explained, this isolator here was wired in for the microwave, and also another wire goes out for the extractor. So another 6mm cable has to be dragged in from the fuse box all the way around and get to this point here. This has already been plastered, so this is the finished look of the actual wall. So I've got to basically cut this hole bigger so I can put this deep back box in here to get the 6mm cable into it to basically run the microwave. So if I damage this wall, then I don't know what we're going to do. So I've basically got to cut this so precisely that no one will ever know that it was cut in after it was actually plastered. And when I spoke to my electrician friend about this, I thought it was going to be a major issue, but he said it actually happens a lot of the time, that they wire things in for certain appliances, and then the customer, me or Holly, goes out and buys a different appliance which needs a different power input to that appliance. So cables and things have to change quite often. But me being me, I said that I would kind of do it myself because, you know, I've done pretty much the rest of the house myself, so why not do this myself as well? But he has lent me this. This is a multi-tool. I'm pretty sure it's called a multi-tool, and sounds pretty powerful, but he said this is the bad boy you need to cut that back box in without damaging the wall, but sounds like it could possibly damage the wall. Alright, so that worked pretty well, apart from that last bit where I pulled the bit of wood out and I chipped the plaster underneath there, which is a little bit of a shame, but the size of the hole is now big enough that I can put another one of these deep back boxes in, which goes in there, and then this socket will basically go into that section there. Okay, so these back boxes are fastened back to the walls. They're all nice and solid. They're all got the correct spacing because I've got this little spacing tool. So basically that means that if that fits between them, when you screw these on, that they will basically be butted up together like that. So that's basically the perfect spacing between them. Same on those two over there as well. And now I've got to basically get that 6mm cable up through the wall and then out through into this one. So that'd be the oven, and that'd be the extractor, then this would just be a double socket. But getting that 6mm cable to here is going to prove quite difficult. A few stressful hours later. Thank God for that. The wire is finally through. I know I didn't film like any of the struggle, but I literally just spent like an hour trying to get this cable this thick, there we go, 6mm cable through the floorboards right here. This goes underneath the bedroom, between the bedroom and the kitchen. Obviously the bedroom is carpeted and the kitchen is plastered, so I had to basically get a cable from the fuse box all the way along to here, and this is the top of the stairs, and we haven't ever got the stairs carpeted or this bit of landing carpeted, and this is the main reason why I thought this would be the very last thing that we do in the house, just in case we ever need to rerun or reroute some cables, that I did leave this kind of like access panel underneath which goes back to the fuse box. I had to make this contraption here, and I basically poked it through with this kind of like bit of plastic pipe, so it gives the cable a bit of rigidity to get under the floorboards, but I couldn't quite push it in far enough. The cable started curling, my hand couldn't get in far enough, and I just made this little kind of like noose contraption here with a bit of cable all the way through it, so I could basically hook it. I could look through that tiny little gap, hook this over the cable, pull that so I could then pinch the cable with this kind of like noose mechanism here, and then I could basically drag that cable through. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that's come through. All I've got to do now is poke it through the ceiling into the room, what we haven't done, along the ceiling, down in Bosch. Whew, that was hard work. So above the corner of the kitchen, that's where I just was on the top of the stairs on that little bit of landing, and this is why I couldn't do any of the cable pulling through or anything in here, because this is obviously already been plastered. But luckily this room hasn't been touched in here, so that cable, this one here, I've just poked it through this hole right there, so that is the cable for the microwave. But to get it from here back over to the isolator in the kitchen, I've got to knock out this ceiling completely all the way along to that hole over there, basically knock it down like that, but the joists run this way, and I've basically got to then drill through each one of those joists to basically get that cable all the way along the ceiling to that point, drop it down, drill it through the wall, and then get it up into the isolator what I've just put in. And yes, this room is an absolute mess, and there is so much stuff in the way which I've got to get out of the way before I can even knock that ceiling down. And when I do knock it down, all of that dust is going to go straight into the kitchen, because there is no door on here, and I don't want that to happen. And also I do not want any dust to go over these two boxes here, because these are very, very special, but I'll get Hollie to explain why. So Hollie, enlighten us. What makes these two boxes so special?
Because this, James, this is our new induction hob, and this is our new oven. The only two appliances that
I was going to say, we can't even open the boxes.
we can open this one.
Go on then.
These are the only two appliances that are here yet. The others are somewhere in transit, I hope. I think the fridge is coming on Monday. I have no idea when the extractor's coming. But this is our nice fancy induction hob.
What makes it so fancy?
Wow. It's an AEG, and we are also having an AEG extractor fan, and apparently they can talk to each other.
What does that mean?
I don't really know. We'll have to
You don't even know.
I can guess that when you like turn this on, it also turns the extractor on, but I have no idea. It's going to be wait and see what happens when we plug it all in. And this is our oven, and we're going to have a matching sort of microwave. It has everything, I think. It's a steam oven. You can like cook bread in it, dough proving, and apparently it connects to Wi-Fi. But I'm not quite sure why we need that, but obviously I had to have it because it sounded wonderful.
So you're telling me that the the one hidden down there, the old oven, the old grill, and the old microwave, which has probably been here for about 30 years, which originally was over there in the old kitchen.
Never used.
Still cooks a pizza, doesn't it? So what counts in an oven?